Hello everybody, my name is Connor, and I am here with another Boa game. I'm going to be on this deck for a while. We are playing against Katakuri, and this game went pretty well for me, I feel. It did go pretty poorly for my opponent. I know she was, she mulliganed, and when she got her mulligan, she was not happy, so definitely a tough game for my opponent, but I feel like they played pretty well with what they had, and honestly, they're a surprisingly good player. They have definitely whooped my ass before, many times actually, so it was nice. Even though they are younger than me, it was nice to get the win. They're very sassy when they win, and it's always very fun to play against them, but we get Sengoku and we draw the Law. I wanted to get some more counter in my hand, and they tap 3 for the Paraspero. And they go 5 into lead, and seeing as I sit at 5 life, I'm usually not worried about taking the first hit, and we get Jinbei out of life, which is so great. Jinbei is one of those cards that I definitely look for in my opening hand, because it applies so much board pressure so quickly, and we have 2 of them. That's great. So this is the list. I will put the list down below in the description, but I did take out 1 Red Rock, and in this tournament, it hurts. So I'm trying a new list at the next tournament that I'm actually playing in today, which is yesterday by the time this video goes up. And I tested it out on the sim, and it feels pretty good. Felt very good into yellow, which is one of the things I worry about, but we tap 4, we swing 5, my opponent takes it, we tap 4, we go Jinbei into Weevil, and we draw a card, and we get our Gravity Blade, which is great. I honestly, I love the removal in this deck. It's so nice. Let me just fix my Dawn sleeves, designed by yours truly. That's right, I do sleeves. Although, these ones are for Dragon Shield. Don't like them as much, so gonna be going back to the other types of sleeves that I make. And my opponent goes ahead and taps 4, dropping the Kikinojo, which Kikinojo is a pretty scary card. she's telling me that it actually heals me when I swing into it. So we're just having fun. It's the first round of the tournament, and she's just a funny kid. So she swings 6 or 7, I think, at me. Checking the top of her life, and she puts that to the bottom, which has me a bit concerned. Of course, if it's a 0-cost event or something. So I do end up taking that life too, just because I don't want to use anything I have in my hand. But she swings 5, and then I give her the Mihawk as counter. And speaking of Mihawk, we top deck the 9-drop Mihawk, which is actually a card I did remove from my deck list. I actually removed both Mihawks from the new deck list, and yeah, so pretty interesting. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do if I think I'm at 6 Dawn, if I did my math correct. 4, 5, 6, yeah, so I'm at 6 Dawn, so I can't Gravity Blade yet. But I goes 5 into Paraspero, hoping that they'll just let it go for the search. And they do, that's great. So I can hold on to my Gravity Blade for something a little more threatening. Although I guess with Katakuri, they don't play a ton of like super big bodies. Oh, my opponent did drop a card. So we had to go ahead and get that. And they are doing their search, and their deck is so mean to them this game, which it's a refreshing change to have my deck actually work with me. But she does end up taking the Kikinojo, and I remind her that it has to be a Big Mom Pirate, and so she whiffs the search, which is, as I said, not nice, very, very rude. Honestly, understandable. I hate when my deck does that. And first round of the tournament, deck doing that, annoying. So I go ahead and swing 5 into life, just to try and get some of the cards out of their hand. I think I do end up pudding them at some point in this game. I swing 6 with Weevil, they counter out. And I think I'm dropping Boa this turn, yeah. Yes, I do drop Boa. I play 6. I drop Boa. I freeze Kikinojo. Yes. And I'm counting how many cards I have in my hand. We were trying to figure out how best to symbolize that she was frozen. And I know I had this issue with a couple of my games in this tournament, is we weren't sure how to symbolize, that they're frozen, because when you're playing the game, in the heat of the moment, things kind of get lost and a little bit confused, honestly. So yeah, she decided to rest it. I think a couple of my other opponents this tournament did the same thing. I might look into getting, I think Pokemon has like the little freeze icon or something. I might see if I can find one of those or something like that. But yeah, just to kind of make it easier on everyone and you guys especially, just so we can see what is frozen. But for now, we are just resting, although I won't be swinging into Kikinojo, obviously, because she's just frozen, not rested. So they go ahead and draw for turn. And yeah, they're trying to figure out what they want to do here. They end up tapping, I think, 4. Is that 4? 5, 3. Ooh, numbers. 3 for another Parasparrow. And I think they go ahead and just, yeah. They swing pretty big with Katakuri. I think they check. I feel like they check my life this time. Yep, there it is. I know they check my life. I show them, and they go ahead and put it at the bottom. And that definitely makes me wonder what it is. But seeing as we'll be at 8 Dawn next turn, I'm feeling pretty free to Gravity Blade and then just kind of go. And my cat is hanging on my monitor right now. That is not great. Thank you, bye. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, they swing 6 and I counter out with the 2K Mihawk. And they're trying to figure out what they want to do next, I think. Because they still have 2 Dawn up. And yeah, I think we were just talking. Their deck was not giving them what they needed at all. And we do top deck a 2K Charlotte Pudding, the one that you can bounce back to your hand, which is pretty nice to have those. A, for the 2K, and B, if you're low on cards, which I'm not super low on cards. I'm lower than usual, typically, I feel, but yeah, not low enough to be concerned. And I will Gravity Blade and send those 2 to the bottom. Gravity Blade is so good here. And I think, do I get to draw a card? I don't think I do. I think it might be 1, 2, 3. I do. So yeah, okay, don't worry. Bow ability, draw a card, and we get the 2K law. So we have 2Ks on 2Ks, which is great. I am interested because in the list I'm playing in the next tournament, I did drop a couple 2K cards. So yeah, kind of interested to see how that goes. But we added more. But I did add the 0 cost event, so it should be pretty interesting. I swing 5, they give me a counter. I swing 6, they take. And I think I just swing 6. Yeah, I swing 6 with Boa, and they take that. And I swing 8 with other Boa. Well, they trigger out the Parasparrow, which, understandable. They don't have any bodies on board. I think next, they're at 9 Dawn next turn. That's right. So them being at 9 Dawn is super helpful. So they end up trashing a Big Mom, which tells me they have a Big Mom in their hand. So we go ahead, swing the 8 into life, and they take. And they are down to 1 life. And yeah, I mean, my experience playing Katakuri is when Katakuri bricks, it bricks. So unfortunate for my opponent that they are experiencing that. But we have a pretty solid board, and we have enough cards in hand to keep our board state alive. So that's wonderful. And they are at 9 Dawn. They got to put their Dawn in a certain order, which I understand. You guys know me. I have to have my Dawn in a certain order. We do have all of the Warlords Dawn now, except for my 1 Luffy Dawn. and I kind of like it. It's kind of a vibe. I'm usually a fan of having all the same Dawn, but I gotta have the Luffy in there. You know, Luffy's her boy, so does he know it? No, but she knows it deep in her heart. So my opponent goes ahead and draws for turn. Thankfully they're at 9 Dawn, because the 10 Mom would be hard to handle. Although I think, depending on what their hand looks like, even if they drop 10 Mom, if they were at 10 Dawn, even if they drop 10 Mom, I think I could get game through their lives. So they do a large swing, and they know what their life is. I think they know what my life is too. So they swing at me, and I take it, and they go to swing, and I go to take it, and they say, oh, I wanted to see it, and so it's so unfortunate. So I show them that it's Gravity Blade, and they're like, oh yeah, you can keep it there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to trigger it and bottom deck your Parasparrow. And they were like, I didn't see the trigger. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like maybe my hand was in the way. And, I don't know. I felt pretty bad for them, because I know that, like, when my deck bricks, sometimes I, kind of check out too. Like, and so I don't know if that's what they were doing or what, but I will say, they are a good Katakuri player. I know I played them when I was playing Queen, and they didn't only beat me, they absolutely dismantled me. They dropped like 3 10 Moms on me, and just, honestly, it was like a cat playing with their food before they, killed me. It was brutal. So this is definitely a case of deck bricking, but my deck, it's giving me what I need. It's giving me my Gravity Blades. It's giving me all the good stuff. So just a little bit of RNG involved in this game. Just a little bit. I did tuck my, made sure my deck got a good night's sleep. Tucked my deck into bed. Read it a bedtime story. So we go ahead and swing 7. They don't have a big hand. So they end up taking it. And we just load everything onto Boa at this point. Not leader Boa, but they get the Onami and they KO Weevil. And I just load everything onto character Boa and swing for the game. And we are able to get the game. As you can see, they went kind of fast, but as you can see, hand wasn't really having much. I saw an Amaru in there, I know. Never really a good, at least from what I saw, I didn't think there was a good spot for them to really play the Amaru. Yeah, so they had, so here we're doing the math. They have El Thor. So I wanted to do the math. They could get to 13 K with the counter they had in hand. So, and I swung about 16, I want to say. So close, but they had 10 Mom and Amaru. Yeah, no, I didn't think there was a good spot to Amaru. And we just kind of kept our board clear, which is one of the things I really like about the Boa deck, is being able to just get things off of enemy board, which is part of the reason I like Law, and part of the reason I think I'm going to like Lucci a lot, is just clearing board and keeping it clear. But so this game really went well in our favor. Our opponent had a rough game, and I think we did. I think we played as well as we could have. I'm sure there was a couple things we could have done better. I'm sure there's a couple things we could have done worse. But there's going to be 2 more games from this tournament. And one of them is a really good game, and the other one I want to showcase because it was fun, and it's against Ivankov, and I think that is so lit. So, yeah, honestly, super fun tournament. Today's tournament, I'm going to be trying something, or yesterday's tournament by the time you guys see this. I got a new way to hold my phone or record from my phone, and we are going to give it a try. It may only be one video like that, because it is something I wear around my neck, and I do fidget a lot, so we will see how that goes. But that is going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.